All I hear all the time is, this is the year, it's going to be different. There's never any substance or support for why it's going to change.
Right. You need to see some progression.
The Detroit Lions core leadership, GM, head coach, owner, that leadership triangle, square, circle, whatever you want to call it, is the greatest it has ever been. You are seeing it pay off on the field, in camp. You're seeing it pay off in the locker room. You're seeing it pay off in the draft, which you historically suck at. Terry, what kind of pressure? And pressure doesn't have to be a bad thing. Expectation, pressure, whatever you want to define it as. What kind of pressure should we place on the Detroit Lions going into the season, year 2, Dan Campbell, Brett Holmes?
Moderate. I would say a moderate amount of pressure. Moderate because you need to see some progression. I wouldn't say severe because I don't think Lion fans should get pissed off if they don't make the playoffs. If they're competent, if they're winning games, if they show that they know what they're doing, if they're not making these stupid, egregious mistakes at the end of games just to piss good performances away, I would be satisfied with that because I understand that you don't have depth yet. Yes, you have some frontline players that you like. You like Aiden Hutchinson. You like Swift. You may or may not like Jared Goff, but when you look at backups, that's what they're still developing. In order for you to be a team that's not only a playoff team, but a playoff team that's dangerous, you can't be bitching about all the time when somebody's injured and like, well, that's it. We're done. Good teams have injuries. Bad teams have injuries, and they're debilitating. So now what the Lions are doing is still a 1 or 2 year process away. They're building that depth. So when you do have injuries, which you're going to have, you're not saying, oh, damn, we're done.
Well, here's an interesting post the Lions made yesterday in appreciation of what Stephen Tulloch said. I'm not sure if you caught it. Stephen Tulloch, former Detroit Lions linebacker, really good player when he was here.
And a nice young man.
Very, very nice. He's actually really good friends with Chad and the crew here. But he says, the leadership team is the foundation to success. Their team is headed in the right direction, and I'm here for it. Now, typically former players always show support for their team, but that more than anything is everything to me. And I'll tell you why. All I hear all the time is, this is the year, it's going to be different, because we're just suddenly going to turn it around. There's never any substance or support for why it's going to change. Right. And I think we can all agree. And if you're not agreeing with this statement, I can't help you. So pay very close attention. The Detroit Lions core leadership, GM, head coach, owner, vice president, advisors, whatever you want to define Spielman as, let's say. Dorsey, whoever's in the front office, that leadership triangle, square, circle, whatever you want to call it, is the greatest it has ever been. In terms of communication, leadership, and direction. This is actually beyond true. It is, in my opinion, the best it's ever been. Does that mean the head coach is one of the better guys in the league? Does that mean they're going to hit and win? No, but you know what it provides? Stability. How do you become, in a nutshell, the Packers for a 10-year period? How do you become the Patriots, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Chiefs? How do you become like this, the Rams? How do you go a 5, 10, 12-year stretch where you are very successful and you are relevant almost every season outside of maybe one? Front office leadership. Quality people in your front office. Direction. Communication. The Lions have been checking all those boxes, and how am I not supposed to say these things about them? They are doing it. You want me to lie to you?
Let me gently correct you on one thing.
I'm here for it.
Normally, ex-players do say nice things about the franchise. Not ex-Detroit Lions. There's been plenty of cases where they look back and say, you know what? Bad management, bad coaching. They're going to hit it in the wrong direction. Darius Slay, one. Glover Quinn.
Yep.
There's two. Calvin Johnson did not have nice things to say about the Detroit Lions. So when he left. So that's not universal to this franchise. The fact that someone actually said it carries a little bit more weight than...
It carries weight, but I think if you ask Calvin Johnson right now, what do you think of the current leadership group? He would say, he wouldn't say it publicly, I'm sure, but I wish I was around when, wish I was playing when the
Right.
Lions were, I wouldn't say performing, but leading and guiding their team in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you ask for.
What do you think he would have said 4 years ago?
Trash.
Right.
Wasted my career. No direction, no leadership. Shooting from the hip, no clear direction at all. That's what he would have said.
Mm-hmm.
So look, you know, we can sit here objectively and say they're better as a leadership team. Do they have the right head coach? Do they have the franchise quarterback? We can confidently say no to the franchise quarterback, but that doesn't mean he can't be your quarterback also. We see teams in the league with a Kirk Cousins, a Ryan Tannehill have success. Even Baker Mayfield had success in this league. So, but do you have your head coach now? That's a wait and see. We're going to see how Dan Campbell performs over the next...
Last year in November.
Absolutely.
We'll find out.
So we'll see how far along they are and how far he's grown. But leadership, in terms of GM, you have the best GM you've ever had. Not even close. Not changing my mind on that anytime soon. Sheila Hamp, she's doing what an owner should do. Allow your team to operate and make sure they're not operating like a bunch of idiots. I can respect
Her
that.
first job was to find a competent team. The parents were unable to do that.
Yes.
And the other thing, quiet as it's kept, I do believe that William Clay Ford Sr. got involved in things where he shouldn't have been.
Absolutely. I mean, you making buddy decisions on who's going to run your franchise, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
His accountant, his friend's the lawyer's son, the accountant's son. I don't know what the hell this guy did. I mean, it's
My drinking buddy.
It's a bit much. It's a bit much, and it's refreshing. I know they're the Lions. I know their history. But if you can't look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, right now it does look different. And not only does it look different, you are seeing it pay off on the field, in camp. You're seeing it pay off in the locker room. You're seeing it pay off in the draft, which you historically suck at. I'm not saying they're division winners this year, or next year, or Super Bowl contenders. But you can't sit here with a straight face and tell me it hasn't significantly changed from what you had under Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia, what you had in Martin Mayhew and Jim Caldwell, Martin Mayhew, Jim Schwartz, Rod Marinelli, Matt Millen, Mortingwig, Steve Mariucci, Bobby Ross. Stop it. It's completely different. It looks like a functional franchise.
I'm going to defend one of the coaches that you mentioned.
That I attached to it?
Yes.
Jim
And
Caldwell?
it's not the guy that you think.
Oh, it's not Jim Caldwell. Then can I say it's Steve Mariucci?
That's the guy.
I fucking knew it.
Steve
Excuse me,
Mariucci.
Fish. Mark that down.
You know, I was in the locker room after guys were fired. And players, for the most part, were like, yeah, whatever. We'll move on. You know, we'll do our thing. The one that they were upset about early on was Steve Mariucci. In fact, there was this huge fight in the locker room after Mariucci was fired. And Dre Bly chastised his teammates. You guys are letting a good guy go. You guys are letting a good coach. That's on y'all. Because he provided us everything we needed, and you guys were knuckleheads.
I mean, can we be honest? What was Steve Mariucci before the Lions? It's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
It was no slouch. I could argue that was their highest profile hiring ever. Fair?
Right. And you know who else we're going to say this about? It's a guy that's in this town.
In the Lions organization?
No.
The highest profile signing we've had?
No. Another coach or manager that we're going to say, you know what? You failed this guy.
AJ Hinch?
Yes. he's going to be. He was good before he got here, and I know the cheating scandal, but he will go somewhere else and accomplish some great things. The clunker is going to be his time here in Detroit. So once again, we'll be able to look back and say, man, these players failed this manager, or the general manager who lacked the creativity to bring in quality players failed this manager.
100% correct, and that's an ongoing theme that's probably very frustrating. But again, I'm sorry. You have to look objectively at this football team and the way they're led. Not the product yet. How they are led. It is the best it's ever been. There's never been a better GM in town. The front office look like they really know how to work together, something you haven't seen much in the Lions' history.
Mm-hmm.
No meddling. That will pay off in the long run. Is it with Campbell? Is it with Goff? We'll see. You have games to play in front of you. You go out and win football games, the rest speaks for itself. It's that simple. But even if you lose with Dan Campbell, even if you lose with Jared Goff, you have a front office that is ready to turn it around. In my opinion. Could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure I'm not.
Make it better and to add not only key pieces, but some depth. That's what the Lions need, depth.
Absolutely.
And that takes time.
It does.
Because you use your first 3 years, okay, let's get some ballers in here. And then after that, okay, let's
start
create
winning.
depth.
100% there, 100%.